All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Hakwadash. Double honors to the head apostle, that is great millstone, who rule well and teach well. Peace and blessings to you, sincere Akim, that are pushing this truth all over the four corners of the earth, week in and week out, in all truth and sincerity. And Shalom to the elect. It's going to be somewhat of a response to the Hopeful Elect 3 video clip entitled Woman Shares 3 Dreams of Chaos and Destruction. I'll leave the link in the description box as well. Watch, subscribe, and be edified. And I want to start in in Second Ezra, verse 16 and verse 37 before I play this video. It's Second Ezra 16 and 37. It says, "Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment." Yeah, those birth pains get stronger and stronger and stronger. Those contractions, okay, before the child is born, right? Verse 39, it says, "Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side." Let's play this video.
Okay, not to like fearmonger or anything, but as of recently, I've had 3 dreams in total already that were very like apocalyptic, and I don't usually have dreams like that. Like, my dreams are usually of me flying in trees and walking at night by the bayou. So the fact that I've had 3 apocalyptic dreams, kind of suspicious, kind of scary. And honestly, the dreams were like very terrifying. So I'm just gonna share them with y'all and see what y'all think. So the scariest of them all was me. It was like a scene of me hiding under my bed with my fiance and a neighbor, and we could look out the window. And as we look out the window, we see these like, it literally looks like missiles or something glowing orange falling out of the sky, but like a bunch of them, like pew pew, like out of the sky, and they're like falling pretty close, like pretty close vicinity to us. And honestly, it's a short dream, and it's literally just like in third person. I can see me hiding under the bed with my fiance, our cats, and a neighbor, and these things are falling out of the sky. I can see them, and then my neighbor just goes, "Do you think it's gonna hurt?" And then I go, "I hope not." And then it just blanks out, like it must have hit us. I must have died. And then I woke up.
Yeah, let's stop it right there. So the first vision or dream that she received was of those arrows, those nuclear missiles, those intercontinental ballistic missiles. Okay, because the scriptures speak about, what she saw in Revelation the 6th chapter, concerning the missiles pelleting the earth. This is Revelation 6, and let's go down to let's see here, verse 13. Okay, it's Revelation 6 and 13. It says, "And the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island removed out of their place." Okay, so that's those missiles pelleting the earth. Okay,
And then my other dream was that my family and I were eating like at a restaurant. It was like a Mediterranean restaurant. And as they're bringing out the food, people start scattering, like it empties out. The employees start packing up and leaving, like mid bringing us our food. And we're like, "What's going on?" And they're like, you have to go take the food." And they just give us like the food like quickly and like these to go thingies. And they're like, "Get out." And so we get out, we go home. And as we do, we see like chaos, like people just going crazy, breaking things, breaking into houses. Like, I don't know.
And so it went from 0 to 100 real quick, essentially. Let's go to First Thessalonians chapter 5, and let's go down to verse. Let's start from the top. First Thessalonians 5:1. But of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, and then this woman in her dream was in a state of peace and safety before that particular moment in her dream, where the waitress or waiters brought out their food and said, "Hurry up, get out of the store." Okay, it says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction, sudden destruction." Okay, so things changed very, very quickly and very, very drastically. Okay, and this is what's about to take place. All right, it says, "Then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Just like we read in Second Ezra, the 16th chapter. Okay, concerning those plagues, right? Let's jump back to Second Ezra 16 and let's read verse 39 again. It says, "Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side." Okay,
I don't know if it was just like a lot of poverty and people were just like fighting for food or something and killing each other or what was going on. But we hid in our house, locked the doors, closed the windows, and we had to like hide the fact that we had food and water. Like we couldn't let people know we had resources. And it was so bad because we already had like these like blankets covering all of our windows and like glass door and stuff. Like we were blocking it from the view of everyone. And like I could see in my mom's neighborhood because we were at my mom's house, I could see everyone running in the street, just like chaos, breaking into people's houses. And so that was
yeah, chaos. Hey, that's what's coming upon Babylon the Great and various other parts of the earth. Okay, and that's Second Ezra the 15th chapter. Let's go down to verse Second Ezra 15. Let's go down to verse 15. Okay, because this is what's about to take place heavy in Babylon the Great. Okay, society is going to collapse. It's not going to be, police task force and someone you can call. You pick up your phone. You're not going to have electricity. You're not going to be able to. You're not going to hear ambulance sirens or police sirens. Okay, fire trucks. All right, this is going to be a state of lawlessness and a survival of the fittest type mentality. Okay, this is Second Ezra 15:15. "For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands," concerning World War III and also civil and race wars. Verse 16, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another." This is what this woman had a dream of. Okay, the invading of one another. Let's run it back a little bit.
already had like these like blankets covering all
Let's go
us.
back a
Like
little
people
bit.
just going crazy, breaking things, breaking into houses. Like I don't know if it was just like a lot of
Yeah, that's the invading one another, breaking into houses. Okay, it says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." All right, and I could be worried about, oh, am I on camera? What if the police catch me? All those things are going to be out the window. Okay, it's going to be a survival of the fittest type mentality. It's going to be great, great death. People are going to be going from house to house, city to city, area to area, in search of, food, weapons, shelter, etc.
poverty and people were just like fighting for food or something and killing each other or what was going on. But we hid in our house, locked the doors, closed the windows, and we had to like hide the fact that we had food and water. Like we couldn't let people know we had resources. And
Yeah, she said we couldn't let people know that we had resources. Let's keep reading in Second Ezra the 15th chapter and verse 17. It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride. The city shall be troubled." This is what this woman had a vision of: the trouble in the cities. It says, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. She said we had to hide the fact that we had resources. Okay.
The windows, and we had to like hide the fact that we had food and water. Like we couldn't let people know we had resources, and it was so.
It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And this is what's about to come down upon the earth. All right. And this is going to be heavy over here in Babylon the Great. Okay.
Bad because we already had like these like blankets covering all of our windows and like glass door and stuff. Like we were blocking it from the view of everyone, and like I could see in my mom's neighborhood because we were at my mom's house. I could see everyone running in the street, just like chaos, breaking into people's houses. And so that was the second dream that I've had. And then the third dream, I'm trying to remember.
Let's skip down to verse 49. It says, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death.
Oh yeah, the third dream was pretty much the same thing, like things falling out of the sky. And I remember I was like on this like little raft, and I was trying to just stay alive while seeing things fall out of the sky, like and hit land. But I was in a raft in some water, and I remember it was very cold, and it was very apocalyptic feeling. And then in the dream, I woke up, like I was still in the dream, but I woke up in the dream, like a dream within a dream. And when I woke up, I was like in my childhood bedroom, and it was all pink. And I like looked down at my blanket, and I could see my little feet peeking out, but it was like my feet from when I was 8 years old and I was little. And somehow in my mind, I knew I was back in 2009, like what my room looked like back in 2009, the size I was. Like it was 8-year-old me. And I just remember within that dream thinking like, oh God, like thank goodness that was just a dream. Like that was scary, the world ending. And then I actually woke up and it was adult me, and I was like, that was weird.
Let's go to 2nd Ezra 16. And let's start from the top. It says, woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia, and woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourself with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction as is at hand. A sword is set upon you, and who may turn it back? And we're out there prophesying the destruction of Babylon the Great. Okay. And the downfall of Esau's kingdom and his rulership. It says, verse 3, a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent on you, and what is he that may drive them away? And these plagues are sent by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Verse 5, verse 6, may any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in stubble when it hath begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? And this is what this woman had a dream of, are the plagues of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai that are already being set upon the earth, but that will continue and get stronger, like those birth pains, okay, that we read about, are being sent upon the earth. All right. And the end result of these plagues, the finale of these plagues, is those intercontinental ballistic missiles. All right. It says, verse verse 9, it says, a fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? And the people are going to be very, very afraid in the time. Okay. In this time, even the elect is going to be afraid. Okay. It says, verse 11, and the Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. And this whole earth is going to shake, rattle, and roll when these missiles hit this place, man. All right. These fault lines are going to move. Earthquakes are going to be happening. Volcanoes are going to be going off. Tsunamis. There's a whole lot that's going to be happening simultaneously as these missiles are hitting this place. Okay, these tectonic plates are going to move, and you can do your own research on the result of tectonic plates moving. The scriptures say that the earth is going to rock to and fro like a drunkard. It says, "The sea riseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also. Behold, the Lord, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss. And when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world." And what is the ends of the world? Babylon the Great, America. Okay? Because the majority of the missiles are going to be shot over to America. It says, "Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again." That's right. These nuclear missiles are going to be going to go out the firmament, come back in the firmament, and hit their destinations. The scriptures speak about in the book of Joel, okay, that they shall not, one shall not thrust one to another, right? And ultimately, these missiles, the ultimate guidance system of these nuclear missiles are the angels. Okay, really, the angels are going to guide these nuclear missiles to their destination, right? It says, "Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, it returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again." The scriptures say that uh, the Lord's sword shall be bathed in heaven. Okay, they're going to go into that firmament and be guided by, the angels to hit their mark, right? Scriptures say they shall climb upon the walls. Let's get that in the book of Joel. What is that? Joel 3. It's Joel chapter 2, verse. Matter of fact, let's just start in verse 7, straight to the point. It says, "They shall run like mighty men," concerning those arrows. "They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march everyone on his way, and they shall not break their ranks." So these missiles are ultimately being guided by the Lord. The Lord's going to command his angels to guide these missiles to their destination or destinations. It says, "Neither shall one thrust to another." You're not going to have missiles bumping into each other, trajectories crossing paths, causing explosions in the air. All right. Neither. Furthermore, there's not going to be no missile defense, so to speak, concerning Babylon the Great to these missiles that are coming over this place. All their defense systems are going to be dismantled by the angels. Moreover, this place, America, is going to be taken down from the inside out. These various different nations have all types of sleeper cells that are in this very land, in these high level positions in government, society, all right, military, etc. It says, "Neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk everyone in his path, and when they shall fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded." So there you have it. Let's go back to 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, and continue on. It says, verse 17, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days?" Verse 18, and we're going to read down to verse 22. It says, "The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death," like this woman is speaking about concerning her vision, her dream. All right. The result of the famine and the great tribulation was people going door to door, house to house, seeking goods, chaos in the streets. It said, "The beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear." Even these elites are going to be in fear. They're going to be in their underground bunkers. You know, the majority of them. The majority of the world elites. Okay, it says, "And the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague tribulation, and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. So these are all being sent. This is all the plagues that are being sent by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And the result of that famine, the lack of water, the lack of food, people are going to be resorting into cannibalism. When they can't just go house to house, door to door, and ransack through somebody's kitchen and find things that are left over, a can of beans, some rice, etc., they're going to result to eating one another. Okay? It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Lord willing, that was edifying. I'll leave the link in the description box to the brother's video as well. Watch, subscribe, and be edified. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Rachachak Wadash. Double honors to the head apostle, Nettles, a great millstone, who rule well and teach well. Shalom to the elect. To the next time, shalom.